So you've just moved into a brand new planned community. Maybe it's Waterbury Park.
Yeah.
And you've got this big packet of homeowner orientation stuff, right? Full of legal terms, dense paragraphs.
Yeah, it can be pretty overwhelming.
Exactly. So our mission today is to, cut through all that. We want to pull out the really crucial insights for you.
Those aha moments, basically.
Like stuff that's going to save you time, maybe prevent some headaches, and just help you really settle in properly.
Think of it like your personal guide. We're doing a deep dive into how this community actually works, the blueprint.
Yeah, the blueprint of Waterbury Park.
Right. It's designed for a certain lifestyle, comfort, connection. We want to help you understand that rhythm.
We're going to unpack, who the key players are, the steps you need to take, like, right now, basically.
And some surprising little details, too, about maintaining your home, being part of the community.
Get ready to feel, hopefully, a lot more informed and ready to go. Okay, let's start right at the beginning. Welcome to Waterbury Park. The materials really stress this idea, don't they? That it's more than just houses, it's about belonging.
It really does. And that word belonging, well, it points straight to the main job of the Homeowners Association, the HOA.
Okay.
It's really crucial for you as a new homeowner to get this. Joining the HOA isn't optional, it's mandatory.
Right.
When you bought your property, you basically signed up. You agreed to follow the rules. They call them restrictive covenants.
Like the declaration, the bylaws, all that stuff.
Exactly. The declaration, articles of incorporation, bylaws, rules, and regs, and of course, paying your assessments, your dues.
And that membership just stays until you sell the place.
That's right. Only starts when you sell.
Okay, let's dig into this who's who part then. It seems pretty important for understanding who runs things. First up, the board of directors. What's the deal when you first move in?
Well, initially, the board isn't elected by homeowners. It's appointed by the developer.
Neil Communities in this case.
Correct. So right now, Waterbury Park has a 3-person developer board. And this is like a really key thing to understand.
Why is that?
Because their main focus, and the materials are pretty clear about this, is on the look of the community, the aesthetics, and honestly, selling the rest of the homes.
Ah, okay. So that might explain why things can feel a bit strict sometimes.
Definitely. It often leads to what homeowners might feel is very strict enforcement of the rules, especially things coming from the Architectural Review Committee, the ARC. That can catch people by surprise.
So the developer board keeps things looking good, gets the place sold. But that can't last forever, right? When do the residents actually start taking over?
Right. It's a phased process. It's not like flipping a switch. When 50% of the homes are conveyed, meaning the ownership has officially transferred from Neil Communities to homeowners.
Okay, halfway point.
Yeah. At that point, one resident gets elected to the board, but the developer still has the majority, still has control.
So still 2 developer seats versus 1 homeowner seat.
Exactly. The full turnover, where the developer really steps back, that starts when about 95% of the homes are conveyed.
Ah, nearly built out then.
Right. And that's when homeowners elect the majority of the board. And you see big changes then.
Like what kind of changes?
Well, for starters, the board starts meeting monthly, not just once a year.
Wow, okay. Big difference from the developer board only meeting annually for the budget.
Huge difference in engagement, yeah. Plus, you'll see various committees forming, like a resident-led ARC, maybe social committees, things like that. And they start building up community reserves, the savings account for future major repairs.
That point about meetings is really interesting. A developer board just has that one annual budget meeting, usually November. But a homeowner board meets every month. That's way more visibility for residents.
Precisely. More transparency, more opportunity for input. It's also worth noting your materials mention that while the developer is in charge, they may cover budget shortfalls if the assessments collected don't cover all the expenses.
Okay, so like a safety net, sort of?
Kind of. But it also says the association could still face loans or special assessments if things really go over budget. So it's not an absolute guarantee. But it does offer some stability early on, even if it means less direct residence, say, in finances until turnover.
Got it. Okay, then there's the management company. For Waterbury Park, you mentioned it's Castle Group. What's their job?
Castle Group is your day-to-day contact, your go-to. They assign a community association manager, John Randall, in this case.
Okay.
And he's backed up by a bigger team at Castle. But the key thing to remember is They work for the board. They take direction from the board.
So they aren't making the big policy decisions themselves.
No, exactly. They implement the board's decisions. So if you have questions, concerns, need help with something, you start with Castle Group, with John.
And his contact info, the after-hours emergency number that's all in the packet.
Yep, clearly laid out in your orientation materials and usually on the community website or portal too.
Okay, practical stuff now. You've closed, you have the keys, maybe the moving truck is still outside. What are the absolute first things you need to do to get plugged into the Waterbury Park system?
All right, step one, absolutely critical, getting your homeowner account set up with Castle Group.
How does that happen? Does it just
Yeah.
appear?
Not quite that fast. The title company, after your closing, sends your documents, the deed, closing statement, over to Castle's Warranty Deeds Department.
Okay.
And that part, just getting the documents processed, can take up to 30 days.
30 days. Wow.
Yeah. Once Castle gets them and processes them, then they create your homeowner account and assign you your unique account number.
And then they tell you.
Then they mail you a welcome letter. It has your account number and usually paper payment coupons too. And that mailing part takes about another 2 weeks.
So hang on. 30 days processing, then 2 weeks for the mail. You could be looking at, what, 6 weeks, maybe more, before you even get your account number.
Potentially, yeah. It can feel like a long wait when you're eager to get set up.
Is there any way to, jump the queue, speed that up?
Yes, thankfully. If you want to get things rolling faster, you can take your warranty deed and your closing statement directly to the management office yourself.
Bypass the inter-office mail delay.
Exactly. Just hand them the docs directly. They can shave off a good chunk of that waiting time.
Good tip. Okay, so you finally have this Magical Castle account number. What does that actually let you do?
That number is your key, basically. It unlocks the community's online portal, which is called TownSq.
Okay, TownSq.
Right. Once you have the account number, you can go create your login for TownSq. And that's where you'll manage your HOA payments, see community announcements, documents. It's kind of the central hub.
And they recommend using TownSq to contact management too, right, for efficiency?
They do, yeah. It helps keep track of communication. You should get an email to set up your TownSq account within about 48 hours of your Castle account being created.
What if you don't get that email?
Check your spam filter first, obviously, but if it's not there, make sure you submitted your resident communication form that might be holding things up. If still nothing, then definitely contact Castle Group.
Okay. Now, speaking of payments, the budget and assessments. The materials say the budget is planned for build-out. What does that mean, and why should a new homeowner care, assuming all 21 homes are occupied, right?
Right. Plan for full occupancy from day one. And you should care, because it's actually a strategy designed to protect you financially down the line.
How so?
Well, a really common complaint in new communities is that HOA dues shoot way up right after the developer leaves, because suddenly the homeowners are covering all the costs, maybe costs the developer was subsidizing.
Sticker shock at turnover.
Exactly. By budgeting for build-out from the start, they're trying to set the dues at a level that will be sustainable long-term, covering all the expected costs of a fully running community. It aims to prevent that big, nasty jump in fees later on.
So it's trying to smooth things out from the beginning.
Precisely. Now, the budget still gets reviewed every year, and some costs, like utilities, get adjusted based on actual usage. But the core idea is stability from the start.
Okay, makes sense. So, practically speaking, how do you pay these dues? When are they due?
They're collected quarterly, due on January 1st, April 1st, July 1st, and October 1st.
Okay, standard quarters.
Yep. And you definitely want to pay on time. There's a $25 late fee plus a $20 admin fee if your payment isn't in by the 15th of the month it's due.
Ouch. So $45 total if you're late. Good to know.
Definitely. And remember those paper coupons we mentioned? New owners should get those about 45 days after closing. But if, say, 60 days go by and you still haven't seen them, don't just wait. Call Castle Group's resident service department.
Proactive is better. Got it. And there are different ways to pay, right? Not just mailing a check.
Oh, yeah. 4 main options, which is nice. Auto pay is what they prefer.
Why is that?
It's just easier for everyone. You set it up online, choose your payment date, and it pulls automatically. Plus, if the dues ever change, AutoPay usually adjusts automatically too. You enroll for that on the Castle Group website.
Okay, what else?
You can do one-time online payments through their portal or website, but watch out for the fees there.
Fees?
Yeah, usually around $3.95 if you pay from a bank account, or a percentage, like 3.5% if you use a credit card. Those can add up.
Good point. So auto pay from a bank account avoids those fees.
Usually, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's using your own Barks bill pay service. Lots of people like that.
Sure.
Just make absolutely sure you put your Castle account number on it and schedule the payment way ahead of time. They recommend at least 15 business days before the due date because bill pay can sometimes be slow.
15 business days. Okay, that's like 3 weeks.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And finally, yeah, you can still mail a check. Again, put your account number on it and mail it super early, at least 15 business days prior. They have a specific P.O. Box address in Orlando for Alliance Association Bank, which handles the payments.
All those details are in the packet, I assume. The
Yep.
address, the phone number for payment help.
Absolutely. All spelled out clearly.
Okay, let's switch gears again. Daily life. Living in the community. What are the key things about just, being there, parking, getting in and out?
Right. Some specific rules here. First, and this is a big one, no overnight street parking at all.
None. Wow.
Nope. And they do have random towing enforcement, so you don't want to test that one.
Good to know. What about the gates?
The gates have set hours. They close automatically from 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. every day, Sunday through Saturday.
And getting in, there's a resident lane and a guest lane.
Yeah, at the main gate, resident lane is on the right, usually for your transponder. Guest entry kiosk is on the left.
And that guest system is kind of interesting, isn't it? This Envera Watchman thing with the live person.
It is. It's a neat blend of tech and actual human interaction. You, as the homeowner, get 2 free transponders and fobs when you buy your place.
Did you get more if you need them?
Yep, you can buy extras from the management office. Looks like $25 each.
Okay. But for visitors,
Yeah.
how does that work with the live agent?
So your guest pulls up to the kiosk. A live Envera agent greets them remotely, like on a screen. If you've already put that guest on your approved list, pre-authorize them.
Through an app or website, probably.
Usually, yeah. Then the agent just lets them right in. Smooth. But if the guest is not on your list,
And what?
then the Envera agent actually calls you, the homeowner.
While the guest is waiting at the gate.
Exactly. They'll ask if you want to authorize this person. If you say yes, they open the gate. If you say no, or if they can't reach you, no answer.
I turn them away.
They deny access. It's pretty secure. And again, Envera's customer support number is in your materials if you run into issues with guests or your list.
Okay, interesting system. Now, moving from community areas to your own property.
Yeah.
Maintenance. What are you, the homeowner, directly responsible for keeping up?
Well, the governing documents are clear. You, the lot owner, are responsible for maintaining, repairing, and replacing everything on your lot.
So the house itself, obviously.
Right. Improvements, landscaping, your irrigation system, even the sidewalk right next to your lot. It's all about upholding the community's look and standards.
But wait, didn't the materials mention some kind of landscape maintenance assistance? By impact landscaping?
Ah, yes. Good catch. This is where it gets a bit nuanced, and it's really important to understand what this is and what it isn't.
Okay, break it down for us. What do they do?
It's described as a basic commercial lawn care service. Think mowing, edging, some fertilizing.
Not a full-service garden pampering.
Definitely not. The materials explicitly state it requires lot owner participation.
Meaning?
Meaning you still have work to do. They mow weekly during the main growing season, March 15th to November 1st, and bi-weekly the rest of the year.
Okay.
They edge the hard surfaces like sidewalks every time they mow, but they only edge the planting beds every other time. They fertilize the grass 5 times a year, and the trees, shrubs, palms twice a year.
So it's a baseline service.
Exactly. It's the foundation. But if you want your yard looking perfect, you'll likely need to do more yourself or hire additional help.
What about bugs and diseases? That's always a worry, especially here.
Right. Another key distinction. They do include treatments for common turf-damaging pests.
Like chinch bugs, grubs.
Yeah, chinch bugs, lawn caterpillars, grubs, those specific lawn killers are covered. But other insect control, like for ants on your patio or pests on your specific ornamental plants, that's on you.
Okay. And fungus. Diseases.
Disease control, like fungicide for lawn fungus, is applied if needed, but it comes at an additional cost to you, the individual homeowner. It's not included in the base service.
So if you get brown patch, you'll get a separate bill if they treat it.
That seems to be the implication, yes. And weeds. They say beds are kept reasonably free with monthly herbicide and some hand pulling, but again, if you want pristine, weed-free beds all the time, you'll likely need to do some weeding yourself between their visits.
So, manage expectations on the included landscaping.
Got it.
What about this 30-day grow-in period for new homes?
Yes, this is super important for brand new homes. That first 30 days after you close is critical for all the new sod, plants, trees to establish their roots.
So the irrigation might be running more often then.
Likely, yes. The developer usually sets it to water more heavily during that initial period. But here's the crucial part. After those 30 days are up, it's your responsibility as the homeowner
Uh-huh.
to contact the property manager, John Randall, and ask them to adjust your irrigation timer back to the normal, more water-conserving association schedule.
Ah, so it doesn't just happen automatically. You have to tell them.
Correct. If you don't, your system might keep overwatering, which isn't good for the plants or your water bill potentially. Mark that 30-day point on your calendar.
Good advice. Okay, wrapping up lot maintenance. Any final pro tips or common pitfalls people should know about?
Yeah, a couple of things. If the mowers skip your lawn 1 week, before you call management, quickly check your yard. Did you leave pet waste out? Is there a hose or lawn furniture or something blocking their way?
Ah, clear the path first.
Right. If the yard is clear and they still missed it, then call management. Also, a very specific rule about street trees, those trees often planted between the sidewalk and the street.
Okay.
If one of those dies, you must replace it with the exact same type of tree that was originally planted there. No substituting a different species. It's about maintaining that uniform community look.
Strict.
Can be. And remember that 30-day landscape warranty. If a plant or patch of sod dies after those first 30 days, replacing it is on you.
But if it dies within the 30 days?
Then you contact your Neal Communities warranty representative, not the HOA management. That's a builder warranty issue.
Okay, clear distinction. Finally, let's talk changes. Everyone wants to personalize their home eventually. Fences, patios, maybe paint colors. How does the architectural review process, the ARC, work here?
Right, the ARC. Before the community turns over to homeowners, the ARC is essentially the developer.
Neal Communities makes the decisions.
Yes. After turnover, the elected homeowner board appoints at least 3 residents to the ARC. But here's the absolute key. ARC reviews are only about aesthetics, looks.
Not about structural safety or building codes.
No. They're looking at whether your proposed change fits the community's visual standards. They set rules for pretty much anything you can see from the outside.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Fences, walls, swimming pools, sheds, exterior paint colors, light fixtures, major landscaping changes, what materials you use for your roof or driveway, even satellite dish placement sometimes.
So basically anything visible from the street or a neighbor's yard.
That's a good rule of thumb, yes. Even leasing your home requires ARC approval, interestingly enough.
Leasing too. Wow. Okay, so if you want to make one of these changes, what do you actually have to do?
You need to submit a formal written ARC application to management, and it needs to be complete.
What does complete mean?
It means including detailed plans, drawings, specifications, info about your contractor if you're using one, a site plan showing where the change will be on your lot, what materials you'll use, colors, landscaping details, everything they need to visualize it.
Sounds thorough.
It needs to be. And here's a piece of advice that saves so much trouble. Don't ever assume something is okay just because you saw a similar thing at another house down the street.
Why not?
Because rules might have changed, or maybe that other house got approval under different circumstances, or maybe they didn't get approval and just haven't been caught yet. Every single application is reviewed on its own merits against the current standards.
So always apply. Always get it in writing before you start.
Absolutely. Before you spend a dime or lift a hammer. And factor in the review time, the documents say it can take up to 30 days for modifications, maybe 15 days for a lease application. So plan ahead.
Okay, that's a lot of ground we've covered. So let's try to wrap this up. What's the big picture here?
Well, we've gone through the nuts and bolts of living in Waterbury Park, haven't we? From who's in charge initially.
The developer board focus on the look.
Right, to the transition to homeowner control, and then the practical stuff, getting your account set up, paying dues, understanding what the landscapers do and don't do.
And navigating that all-important ARC process for any changes you want to make.
Exactly. It shows how a structured HOA with professional management tries to balance things. They aim to protect everyone's property values by maintaining standards.
Also, hopefully, creating a place where people feel they belong, like they said at the start.
It's that blend, collective rules, individual responsibilities.
So that big packet of orientation materials, it's not just a rule book you stick in a drawer.
No, ideally it's more like your guide to being an active, informed member of the Waterbury Park community.
Understanding it helps you participate, right? Avoid problems.
Absolutely. Knowledge really is power in this context. It helps you navigate everything much more smoothly.
Okay, so here's something to think about as we finish up. We talked a lot about that initial phase when the developer runs the show, focusing hard on aesthetics and sales, and then the shift later to resident control, where priorities might change towards, long-term reserves, maybe different community activities.
A definite shift in focus.
So the final thought for you is this. How does really understanding that initial developer-led mindset, the focus on the look, prepare you for what comes next? When residents take over with potentially different priorities, focusing more on resident input, maybe building up those reserve funds, what kinds of opportunities or maybe even challenges could that transition create for you? How might your early experiences under developer control shape how you engage with the community later on? Something to mull over.